Hi guys, Mulweni. Good evening, Sanibona. Ani. Welcome back to our channel, Miss P here. What are we talking about today? We're talking about wallowing. So we were having a chat with a friend of mine the other day. That's what sparked this conversation or rather the topic or subject that we're having today. And she was saying, no, I have an issue with, I think one of her sisters had just failed a test and then she's just busy crying and she's not getting over it. And she just thinks by now she should be over it. And I looked at her and I said, no, you cannot force someone to get out of that moment. She is going through a very painful time. She thought she was gonna pass. She had dreams, she had plans. I'm sure other kids were busy celebrating and she couldn't celebrate. So, and I said to her, it's important that we have a period to wallow. There's nothing wrong with sitting and crying and sitting in the pain, right? Because sitting in that pain helps you. It's actually the very first step of healing. But now, as people nowadays, we are not honest with ourselves because society is putting so much pressure on us. Achieve, go, 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 go. Don't be sitting here and feeling sorry for yourself. Sometimes that rush is a very one that is ending up that is the very reason why we end up crashing, because you're like a ticking time bomb. You never took time to release. You're like a balloon. Have you ever seen a balloon that if you pump a balloon, right, and until it can't blow, you can't blow any further air anymore, it just bursts. And that's what happens in life. Sometimes we go through so many things. There's divorces, you lose a relationship, you start a business, it doesn't work, and then immediately you go to another one without even mourning or without even understanding and sitting in the pain. It's important sometimes to sit in the pain and wallow and cry, and feel sad for yourself. Curl up if it means sometimes you don't even want to open your windows because you're going through things, right? That's an important part of healing. It's important that we acknowledge that there's nothing wrong with sitting in that pain, right? To acknowledge it, right? It's so that your body can also know that I'm going through this thing, right? Half of the time we just shove things under the carpet, and shoving things under the carpet, they always catch up with us later. So it's important that you cry. If you've lost a relationship, a love of your life, you've broken up with someone, that thing of saying, yeah, go out, don't sit at home and feel sorry for yourself, it doesn't work, because just now you go out and now you're throwing yourself at the wrong people. You are over drinking, people are even taking advantage of you and even adding on to your stress. The next day you even feel worse than how you were before. You know what I mean? So you are actually numbing the pain. You're not dealing with the pain. So I always say, when you're going through a problem, it's like losing someone. When you lose a family member, and it's a painful process. You have to go through that process of mourning, that process of acknowledging that you've lost someone. You need to cry. You need to scream if you need to scream, right? This thing of holding things in is the very thing that kills us. Some people, you find that they've buried a family member, and 2-3 months or even 4 weeks down the line, they are admitted in hospital because the pain is like it sits somewhere. If it doesn't come out, it sits somewhere. So we need to make sure that you let it happen. It's a process, a very important step of healing. So now the question is, how long do you sit in it? I mean, you can't really put a timeline on it, because it's different situations. For instance, if someone has lost someone, you can't say, oh, get over it in a week. It's a process, right? I'm not saying sit there forever, but go through that step. If it means you have to eat the chocolate and whatnot, that alone is part of healing. So if you don't do those things so that you can sit in the pain and understand why this thing even happened, but you just keep going and keep going. It's like your business didn't work, you're on to the next one, yet you're still carrying scars and pains from the previous one. And it's the same thing that they always say with relationships. You cannot get from one relationship to another. You gotta clean your house, acknowledge that you had someone that you loved, that is no longer in your life. Clean your house, don't go and into the next relationship, because then you're bringing your drama and your sadness and your worries, and you've got blinkers, and you are looking through at people, with magnifying glasses, because you're looking for all of these things that you never dealt with in your previous relationship, in your previous business, in your previous hurt from your previous employer, whatever it is that you may be going through, right? All I'm saying, guys, is that it's important to wallow. I'm not a believer in people saying don't sit in your pain or don't feel sorry for yourself. Spend time in that misery that you would have gone through, right? And then pick yourself up. Don't stay there forever. That's the important thing. You do not stay there forever. You acknowledge it, you deal with it, and then you pick yourself up. It differs from person to person. What we don't want is you sitting there for 2 years or 6 months. That's like a long time, because remember, time is moving, right? So how long do you sit in it? I always say at least you need a week, right? It depends on circumstances. Some things you can get over a day, some things you can get over in 24 hours, some things you can get over in, but it differs. But the important thing is that let's stop telling people to get over their pain. It's like when a child is coming and has been hurt outside, and they come to you and say, oh mommy, it hurts, and you go and puputa that thing, and then the child is okay again. But it's important that you actually acknowledge that part of a situation or that part of life that you're going through. Okay, let's not skip stages in life, or skip crying, or skip because we want to be superwoman and superman and whatnot. That's why we end up with a broken society, with broken people who are angry, who are hurt, because we don't deal with our hurt. It's important to sit and wallow for a moment, but get yourself up. Don't sit there forever, right? Let's move on. Let's close that chapter at some point. All right, guys, thank you so much. That's the message that I had today. Wallowing. Let's normalize wallowing for a moment, not forever though. Cheers, guys. I'm out.